I'm standing in the middle of the cloister garth at Gloucester Cathedral, next to what is usually a lovely pool and fountain with water springing up and catching the light. But you'll see that at the moment the fountain is not playing and the pool is empty. We've emptied it and drained it in order to clean out the pool, get rid of the algae and make sure that when it's refreshed the water is clean and pure. Throughout the Bible, the image of clean, pure water bubbling up is a metaphor for the coming of God's kingdom of love and justice. So, for example, in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 35, we read that waters will well up in the wilderness and streams break forth in the desert. Those words were written to a people who knew just how much they relied on pure water for the very things of life itself. And of course, so do we. In this city and county, we know what it's like to suffer from floods and also to suffer from drought. But for the most part, we can turn on a tap and expect that clean water will gush out for us. For others in different parts of the world, especially those affected by the extremes of the climate emergency, life isn't so straightforward. Take, for example, Florence, who lives in the southern part of Kenya. She and her community are seeing the effects of the climate crisis head on, from extreme flooding on the one hand to extreme and prolonged periods of drought on the other. But Florence and her community, supported by Christian Aid, have been working out ways to combat and come to terms with those extremes. They've been able to build an earth dam so that when the rains do come, they can contain the water, hold it, and make sure that in times of drought, there is fresh water still for them to draw on. In a very literal sense, water is there for them in the wilderness. Next week, from Monday the 10th of May, the annual Christian Aid Week begins. This year, Christian Aid is focusing on stories and projects like that of Florence and the Earth Dam, working with local partners around the world to bring fresh water through practical solutions. It's a sign of bringing hope, but also of working for that justice and that better future, which is the embodiment of God's kingdom. If you want to find out more about Christian Aid Week, please do look on their website. We are so blessed in this country that we can enjoy fresh water. Christian Aid is challenging us this year to think of bringing fresh water to others as a practical way of expressing our commitment to the justice of God's kingdom.